this pandemic one day will be disappear. I think this is just this is not only for Nepal. I think this pandemic made trouble everybody in the world, and now the government announced that the Nepal's economic second economic resource is tourism, and government announced those people who have fully vaccinated, they can come, and but there's no have to stay in the home quarantine hotel. And
Hey, what's going on? This is Felipe. I'm doing here right now another Let's Talk Tourism. And today the guest that I have is a person called Urken. He is from the Himalayas, all of that, from that region, from Nepal. And it's a pleasure to have him since he is an owner of a tourism agency called Mystic Mountain. So I really want to see his perspectives of tourism in that region. And I'll talk a little bit about himself, his history. And Urken, it's a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you for accepting the invitation, man.
thank you. Science is very good, and I'm going to tell my introduction. Originally,
Of
I'm
course,
from.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about your history. Like, is this? I don't think this was your first job. You had many more. Like, why did you do what you are doing? Please.
Okay, I will tell my something about my history and my biography. And I am live in Solkhum. The Solkhum is one district which is located in the eastern part of Nepal, nearby the Mount Everest. And my village is very remote, far from the Kathmandu, the capital, from this capital city. And I raised and born in Solkhum district, and I started to learn ABCD from class 4, because at that time we have no any English medium books, and I started to learn ABCD from class 4, and I complete my school level education in place that is very remote, and they have to go very far from my hometown, and I completed my basic education in place, and then after then I came in Kathmandu to work in the government job, but uh, things automatically change when I go with my uncle as assistant guide and as a software guide. I'm very keen to work in tourism industry, and I can get a chance. So many people still learn their culture, their ideas, and meanwhile I changed my thought, and I left my government job and I started to learn as a porter, and I come from the grassroots level, it's not too easy for me to work with, and starting point is too hard for me, and I keep on my study in the Open University, which is called the Indira Gandhi National Open University, which is located in Kathmandu. And because I can, when I work in tourism, I couldn't go college regularly, but just I will do the self-study and work in the tourism. And I started this Mystic Mountain adventure in 2019. Just I imagine, and I'm very happy to work because I'm very young, and in future I'm going to do something for the country, and for I'm just act locally and think globally. And I started in 2000, but suddenly, unfortunately, the global pandemic is make little bit hard. Not only for me, it made all over the world, and just Nepal's tourism is standing still, and hopefully it will be better in future. But we'll do in Nepal. Nepal is very possibilities for tourism, but here is a little bit politics problem, and so it's not a good facility for tourism, because it's in a remote area. We have to manage everything, but in average, Annapurna and the non-popular region is no problem, but the disaster coastline and very far from remote areas in Nepal is we have to promote together. I'm very happy to meet with you guys, and how we will share our ideas, how we will develop our tourism industry and sustainably and eco-friendly ecotourism, and this is very important in this generation. And I hope you will give me some guidelines and some suggestions about this. And in our country, we can do lots of activities: trekking, hiking, mountaineering, bike cycling, and bungee jumping, paragliding, and so many more activities in Nepal. And
Yeah,
okay,
and then the thing is, first of all, man, like I really appreciate you because I know that English is not your first language, so it's more of a challenge for you to talk English, and it's admirable that you studied English. You decided to study English because you knew the opportunities that it can give you with other people. You know, like what we're doing right now. Myself, this is not my first language. It's Spanish, and what I've heard in Nepal, the I don't know if I'm saying it correct, Nepalesian. I don't know what's the language that you guys use, but it's very complex. Like even to write it, everything is very difficult. So for you to dedicate your time to learn English as well, well, that's respect. You know, that's respect towards you. So I wanted to you mentioned a lot of points in this short of a time. You said you were working in government first, right? And then you got the opportunity to work doing it yourself like a freelancer in those regions in 2019, right? That's when pandemic came and it made a lot of our lives difficult. And you also mentioned that in Nepal, um, it's very difficult to promote tourism. You want to explain a little bit more of why did you think that is? Like, is it the region or is it the tensions with China and India? What do you think is happening in that part?
yeah, definitely. Um, how we can do is together this just I started in Nepal, and I'm thinking to open the branch company in the US and US, UK, and New Zealand. Just the head office will be in Nepal, and but I'm going to create I didn't work well in website, just create, and when will do just automation and the digital, but groundwork is same, and the physical work is needs similar before, but we will work as the payment system and photo video competition and booking system. Everything need the automation, but the groundwork is same, just a trekking, hiking, expedition, and mountain biking, and and kayaking and bungee jumping. Everything, the groundwork is same, but we'll thinking to do the automation and digital, uh, and
I see what you mean. So like the technologies is different. It's difficult to adapt right now. Huh? To for example, you mentioned to create a website, to do advertising, to do all of that. It's much more complicated than what you do in the field. Like you go do the hikings, you reach out to different other people who want to hike. I think that is the easier part. That's what I understand, right? And the difficult part is to make it digital, like doing everything, all the content, all the photos online. Is Could that be like a good um, understanding of what you said?
yeah, and uh, and do you live in US now or in?
Myself?
Yep.
Right now,
The,
yes, I'm currently here in Oregon, in the USA. So it's a
mhm.
privilege. It's a privilege. Hopefully, you can visit this side as well, you know, and see the difference because it's so advanced. It's a lot of technologies are advancing and always, it's always advancing. So those can definitely help um, your business over there in Nepal. So hopefully you get the chance to visit here.
Hopefully, yes, hopefully I will come one day. But initially, I'm thinking to do the global, how we can develop tourism industry in the Himalayas and Nepal and neighboring countries like Bhutan, Tibet, and the high Himalayas of India. Uh, well, do together work. We are two legend brother, and just will open 8 office in Nepal, and just, I would like to open the branch company in US and UK and Australia or New Zealand, and then we'll operate global. We'll thinking globally, just in the local, and then
I wanted to ask you. I
sometimes
wanted to ask you how old are you? How old are you?
I'm just now 27 year,
27.
27.
I'm 27 as well.
Oh,
So
where?
that's funny, huh? Yeah, I'm
So,
asking you that. I'm asking you that because when we're 27, we wanna like eat the world, huh? Like in 1 year, huh? You wanna eat everything. And now that I'm starting to do whatever I'm doing, it takes a lot of time. It takes time, but I know that you're ambitious and that you will um, little by little get into those branches, you know, because that region of Nepal, it could have a lot of potential for tourism as well. And that is something that I do wanted to ask. Since I'm not there, hopefully I can be there. What do you think is the perspectives that you have on tourism in Nepal, like with what happened with COVID? You know, with all the restrictions that we had, how do you see it now? Like what is happening right now currently in your region of Nepal? Is it better? Is it worse? What do you think is happening?
have you ever been to Nepal? Or,
No, I haven't been.
never. This pandemic one day will be disappear. I think this is just this is not only for Nepal. I think this pandemic made trouble everybody in the world. And uh, now the government announced that the Nepal's economic second economic resource is tourism, and government announced those people who have fully vaccinated, they can come, and but there's no have to stay in the home quarantine hotel, and every the people should need the vaccinated, and those vaccinated people can come visit and easily can go, but some countries still banned, and they didn't give the allowed to go permission to tourists in Nepal, just like Australia or Japan, and the government didn't give allowed to travel out country. But Nepal is open, but we can't do anything from Nepal. But the government give the permission, the travelers, you can go in Nepal and visit. Uh, but before 2019, there's very growth in tourism, and very possibilities, and every people there's no any problems in tourism. But after the pandemic, there's a little bit hard. But the government announced that everybody who have a vaccinated, they can come, and they can travel, and they can enjoy in Nepal, and with food, and with in the Himalayas. And then because the tourism is a second economic resources in Nepal, and uh, but in when you land in Nepal, and when you go in the nature, and there's no any problems to manage those airlines or hotel and transportation. There's not so restrictions, but we have to we can do travel under the safety guidelines, just fully vaccinated, and we have to wear masks or any having Kathmandu, and there's not so many restrictions, but it's okay, just it's moving so.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's slowly but surely opening up to more tourism, but people have to be vaccinated and all of that to travel. So that's interesting. Well, now it's been past 2 years. We're in 2022. What do you think is, or your perspectives, or your ideas, or your vision is for what's going to happen here in 2022? Like, do you think tourism in your region is going to go up? Is it going to stay the same, or is it going to go down? into the transition of this year? What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking that from one day this pandemic will disappear one day, hopefully. And I'm thinking from 22, just in the world there's so many facilities. Just I'm thinking, just I'm going to do not expedition. Expedition is we have lots of renowned peoples and staffs, but we can organize right now in the expedition. And just I'm thinking concerning, especially for the base camp tourism, just Everest base camp, Annapurna base camp, and Manaslu base camp, and people uh, who are going to go engagement and their birthday celebration and engagement celebration, who left school and college, and they're going to engagement to each other. They can come in Everest base camp and celebrate, and they come here in a white. It's not necessary to do in the five-star hotel in US, in Australia, and people who something. This is my first idea, and they can do some birthday celebration and marriage celebration in Everest base camp and Annapurna base camp, and it's not so expensive in Nepal, but they they can come in a group and just reach in Everest base camp and celebrate, and that's quite a different, and they it's not they have a lot of luxurious place in US, in Canada, in Australia, but I'm thinking they can come in Nepal, they can go in a base camp, and there's quite they feel quite different, and they after return from Nepal they feel quite a different. And just I'm creating on the website this marriage celebration and big celebration. They can join a group and come in base camp, and they can celebrate. We can manage everything, those hotel, airlines, and ticketing, and the ground would be same, but we are thinking quite a different. Just so we can do some marathon from Everest base camp to Everest base camp to Namche, from the highest part of Nepal.
See, so
And
so what
just
you're saying, what you're saying is people should visit Nepal because it's different. You know, it's different. The way of culture is different than in the U.S. in Australia. It's very distinct. Even maybe in Tanzania or Kenya, all of those regions. So yeah, you should definitely. For those who are watching and haven't been to Nepal, you should definitely take a trip. Hopefully, I get to visit as well. I can have the intuitions that it's more based around the community, tribes, culture, you know, traditions, all of that in those regions, and also landscapes, mountain ranges, nature as well. But it's a different kind. So hopefully, you can have the chance to visit Nepal, and if you do, then you have Urken who can help you and book your tours for whatever reason. I'll try to put the links in the description when we post the videos, so that way people can contact you and get in touch with you as well. So, Erkin, I wanted to ask you one last question here in this short interview. Let's say, like for example, yourself, you studied in government, um, and then you took this road on tourism. For somebody that's let's say 19, 18, and that wants to take this journey in tourism or travel, what do you think they should do before taking that decision? Like what characteristics, what traits, or what forms of being should a person who wants to be in tourism have? What do you think are the best tips of advice that you have for that person that is deciding to be in tourism or not?
that means what are asking with me is also we need is what types of abilities we need. Did you ask?
No, for example,
Ability.
like if for somebody who is like say 18 or 19, and you know you get out of high school or whatever school you were in, and you want to study more, you want to learn something more. What do you think? Why would somebody go to tourism? Why should they study tourism? Like, what is the reason, or what, or also what characteristics should that person have in order for them to see tourism as a positive learning experience instead of a negative one? Well, they were just feel like they lose their time. I don't know. Maybe I've made more sense with that way.
That's, I'm telling you my story, but it's, starting from my story, and when I studying in my place, I thinking I will be a doctor, or I want to learn engineer. But finally, I thought that uh, and the doctor have to work from 4 to 10 in the one room and have to responsible for the patient, and one teacher have to go regularly in school and have to teach more than 50 students one in classroom. And I think tourism is one of the best for my, because we can visit different places in the and the new places where if I do a teacher in my place, I can come in Kathmandu, and I can visit in the remote areas of Nepal, and I can get it. But I'm thinking people in the world, this is time to travel. Everybody wants to travel, and they work just 1 year, and they want to visit some mesmerizing places and some amazing places. That's why the tourism is very important in not only in Nepal, and it's important globally. But nowadays people want to travel and want to get more experiences, and then and they are want to go in the nature, and very keen to see the Himalayas and mountains and river landscape, and they don't like to stay in the big cities. They want sometimes they want to go in the jungle and riverside, and and the spending money with the locals, and that's that's why I studied, and the people are very keen to work in this tourism. And okay, but I'm I'm telling you once. Mm,
Is it like a dictionary or what? What is that? I'm just curious. No, yeah, you have something written down.
okay, finally, I would like to go to tell you, and we can how we can develop this tourism industry, not only in Nepal. And first, I'm working very from grassroots level, and in the future we'll do more and more better. And my English is not so good, but my I have my own native language. I speak Sherpa. We have in our country we speak more than 139 languages. I'm Sherpa, and I speak my mother tongue, and Nepal is our native language, and I speak Tibetan, and English is my very English is very poor. I can speak very well in English, but I learned in Nepali language. That's why it's quite hard for me to tell everything very detailedly. But hopefully I will. I hope you will understand about my voice.
No, yes, that's what I told you from the beginning, that I know trying to learn a different language from your native is very difficult, and so I understand um, that you're still learning, you're still trying to get the pronunciation, and if we were to speak in Tibetan, then I would be the one struggling. I wouldn't know anything. So I understand. So it's a good effort that you're doing to try to learn English, because as well it's very important. Tourism requires a lot of English as a language, so it's respect that I have for you trying to learn. So no worries, man, no worries. So hopefully I really appreciate your chat, your time, Erkin. Um,
I'm also very happy to meet on LinkedIn and happy to talk more and more and how we will develop our ideas in tourism together. We are to LinkedIn brother, and I'm hoping that probably do you have your own travel company in US or no?
well, what I'm focused more on right now is like a marketing agency, more
Mm-hmm.
that. Hopefully, with the future, I will want to get like a tourism agency, but like I said, it's gonna take time to do. So I'm not in a rush yet, but I want to get one thing right, and I'm focusing on other things as well. But marketing is the main thing. So yeah, let's chat a little bit about that. But thank you guys who are watching this video. Hopefully you learned a little bit about Urken's history, a lot of about of what Nepal also brings to tourism and could bring in the future. There's a lot of things to talk about in that region. But hopefully in the future we'll get to talk more about it. So with more than pleasant chat, thank you for watching, and we'll see each other. You see each other again, and then let's talk tourism. Take care.
Okay, okay, definitely, brother.